Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Keep listening to our weekly episodes to find out more.
Click, listen, enjoy.
Here's your host.
Hey everybody, and happy Saturday to you. Welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore, and I hope that you're having a great weekend. I hope that you had a great week. I hope that you are in the midst of holiday shopping because it is that time of the year. Time to start getting those presents and all of those things together, getting the Christmas tree up, all of those wonderful times and things that speak of the holiday season, and I'm geared up for it. I'm very excited. Christmas is one of my favorite times of the year. So anyway, I don't want to hold you for too long, so that means that we're going to get right to the show. And the title of today's show is A Place at the Table, and the topic is sharing your platform. The holiday season, as I said before, is a time for reflection, giving, not worrying about what you'll receive in return. I love Christmas, and I can't say it enough. And it all it stands for. You know, I know the true reason for the season. I love this holiday, and I always worry about what presents I should give each year. Now, I always make a mental list, and I check it twice. I'd like to give to all of my family members, friends, and neighbors. Realistically, it's not financially possible. But, you know, in many businesses and organizations, they use the holidays to ask for donations from those of us who have an abundance so they can give to the needy. And the Salvation Army is one of those charities that you see out in front of the Walmarts and in front of restaurants and grocery stores and things like that. You know, they're out there pounding the sidewalks, ringing those bells, and they have the kettle out there. You know, they're out there receiving these offerings so they can give back to the community. Nevertheless, there are other ways to give that's not geared toward the holidays. Now, I used Christmas and the Salvation Army as an example of why we should give, because, you know, there are always others who are less fortunate than we are. Okay, so now let's talk about making some space for others at the top, because that is what we're talking about today on today's show, sharing your platform. And this is the real discussion. Often, you know, our generosity is non-reflective of giving and sharing. And this is just not how it's done. You know, simply because you've ascended to bigger and greater things doesn't mean you should forget about those who have yet to reach their goals. Now, I understand we all have our own mountains to climb and levels of success to achieve, but how selfish is it of us when we never look back or reach down to help those who are climbing right behind us? This isn't indicative of giving and caring or sharing. We should always make room for others, no matter if the table is crowded. Generosity goes a long way. And remember, if you forget this general principle, the walk of shame on your way back down is one of life's teachable moments. Today, I want to talk about sharing platforms. The word alone speaks of building, holding, sustaining, a term underused for its purpose. There is nothing wrong with distributing kindness to your fellow man, dispensing a portion of what you own to someone less fortunate. And sometimes being less fortunate doesn't even apply to a situation. It's simply another way of showing good sportsmanship. When we extend a helping hand to someone else, it shows how supportive we are of another person's career. Ours isn't and shouldn't be the only important thing going on in our lives. You know, we have to step away from that. you know, just this past week, I received an email from a person that I didn't know, but they were telling me that they were a fellow author and that, that they wanted to appear on my show. And I was like, well, I don't know who this person is and I don't know what they're about. So they sent me a couple of interviews they'd done, with some other podcast and an interview I think that they've done on YouTube. And so, but again, I'm not familiar with the writer. But like I said, that's what it's about, sharing your platform with someone else. You may not know who they are, but the thing of the fact of the matter is that give someone else a chance, because you never know, when the opportunity might arise again, or if you may be featured on someone else's show. That's what it's all about, giving and taking, because you never know. You should never be too busy or too selfish, to want to let someone else, I don't want to say invade your space, but let them enter into your space just for a little bit. Let them talk about what they do. This show is not about book promotion or anything like that. And I know from time to time you'll hear me talk about authors of the books that I read, because I do read quite a few books, and I'll always talk about the ones that I really, really love, and and give their names out, because I want you to go and read those books too. They don't need me to advertise for them, and that's not what I'm doing. Simply, I'm sharing, and that's what this show is about. It's about sharing books, talking about books, anything dealing with writing, anything along that level. And so I was like, well, okay, and the funny thing is that last week when we did the show, I talked about wanting to expand to do different things. And I really didn't go into great detail about what those things were, but that was one of them, opening up my platform to allow other authors to chat with me online, to talk about what they do, to talk about their books and things of that nature, because there's nothing wrong with that. We all need a hand up from time to time. And, and it's just good to be able to do that, because when we lend a helping, extend a helping hand to someone else, excuse me, guys, trying to lose my voice here. It shows how supportive we are of another person's career, and I said that before, and I will continue to say it, because it is so important, because I feel responsible in some way, in a big or small way, to make myself available when asked to do anything to help spread the word or build someone else's career. I listen to talk radio daily, and I love how the hosts allow their guests to talk about what they're doing and how they are giving back in one way or another, because that's what it's all about. And it's okay to shout out someone else, as long as it's positive and nurturing to career building or self-esteem for that matter. And that's what the show is all about. It's not about being selfish and you want to stay in the limelight and try to keep someone else in the dark. It's not about that, because I don't believe in karma. Karma to me is divine retribution in one way or another. You can call it whatever you want, but truly that's what it is. What goes around comes around. So when you give out positive vibes, hopefully that's what you're going to get back in return, is more, positive retribution coming your way. So it doesn't help to, to try to be helpful and, try to do things that are not only good for your career, but good for someone else's, and I love that. And I'm such a believer in God and, and the things that he does. I know that he's always listening. And the fact, again, that I just mentioned that last week, that I wanted to do something different for 2019. And then I get this email, that just spoke to what I'm supposed to be doing. That was my confirmation that I'm moving in the right direction. So, I thank you, Lord. Thank you for that. And hopefully, there will be others who may want and to reach out to me. And this is my invitation, my direct invitation to anyone who's out there listening today, who is a writer, author, or, whatever it is you're doing. The show is called Book Chat, and we talk about books. So, as long as it stays within those guidelines, I'm open to allow you on the show, to let you talk or if you're doing something positive in community, if it's dealing with kids and maybe trying to get them to read, or dealing with libraries, anything that's dealing with, with this artistry, I'm open for. So just remember, think about how great it is to be kind, not just during the holiday season, but each day. I know it might get crowded at times, but make a little elbow room, and never forget there is always room at the table for one more. All right, guys. So that is the show for today in a nutshell. And before I let you go, I want to make sure that I give you out these URLs. And this is a positive reflection of giving out these URLs. It's a way for you to stay in contact with me, and for others who do listen to the show, whether they listen to it live or if they listen to it, the recorded version after I've done with the live version, it really doesn't matter. But what does matter is being able to get this information out to you so you can keep in contact with the show and contact me through these URLs. So, of course, the first one is my Spreaker account, and it is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can also link up with me on Facebook, and my Facebook address is https://www.facebook.com/Vivian Moore Author. You can also like me, follow me on Twitter. My Twitter handle is God's Property 46. You can also reach out to me on Instagram, but that is by invitation only. And that is https://Instagram.com/God's Property 51. You can also check out my website, which will also be updated come 2019. That is https://VivianMoore.wixsite. That's WIXSITE.com/author Vivian Moore. And you can also get today's transcript on my blog site, which is https://VivianEmore.blogspite.com. And two, if you didn't get the live version of today's show, you can listen to it on iTunes and also iHeartRadio. All right, folks. So that's all I have for you today, because I know that you're busy, because we do not have that much time before Christmas will be here. And I hope that you're planning on going to church tomorrow, taking family members, friends, neighbors, and most definitely some children with you tomorrow to hear the word, because that is so important. And it's also important to tell somebody that you love them, because tomorrow is not promised. It may be the only chance you get to tell someone that you love them. So I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you and goodbye.
If you enjoyed today's show, please head over to iTunes, give us a rating, and leave a review.
Thank you for listening.